What's going on, guys? Back again with another one talking about health, wealth, happiness, success, getting money, getting rich, being successful, being happy, right? We're trying to be happy out here, right? So yeah, man, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you're just coming on in, and we'll jump into this video. So today I want to talk about your location, right? And your environment and how important it is to becoming successful. You know, if you haven't figured this game out yet, which most people haven't and most people never will, but if you found this video, congratulations, because we're going to go into it today. Everything in life is through the mind, right? Everything is through your mind. You know, you intake information and it processes through the mind. So everything is mental. And so if you're trying to become successful, if you're trying to get rich, you have to get into that environment. You have to get into those locations of money. And this is what stops a lot of people because they don't realize it, right? A lot of people, especially people who live in the ghetto, inner cities, people who live around poverty, they always want to blame somebody else for their life. They always want to blame somebody else that they can't make it, or, you know, that their life is unsuccessful and they just live in poverty and lack. And it's really because they never break out. You need to change your location. It is so important. So many people... I've seen so many videos of people who live in poverty, but they like live in like New York City, and they'll be like, oh, I'll never be able to get ahead. But it's like, well, leave. You must leave New York City. And then they'll be like, well, my family's here. My friends are here. So many people don't want to break out. You need to get into those locations of money, of abundance, of optimism. People that are just outside living life happy every day, walking their dogs. You know, you need to get into those environments, those locations that have money, that has wealth, that has opportunity. And, you know, that is where the success is. That's where the money is. That's where the opportunity is for life. You know, it's funny. My mom just moved down from New York to Florida. And, you know, one of the things she first told me after she's been down here for a while is, man, so much construction is going on. So many buildings are going up. So much, you know, there's just opportunities all over the place compared to where she moved from in New York. And I'm like, because this is where, you know, people have to go to the opportunities. People go to where the money is. You must change your location. You must get into the right environments. You must see them, right? If you can't move right away, right? Take a drive through those locations, hang out in those environments, go walking through those environments, maybe pick up a gym membership in richer environments, you know, go to a coffee shop in these locations. It will expand your mind. You will start to believe like, hey, I see these people doing it. I know it's possible for me. You know, if you just live in the inner city, if you just live in lack, if you just live in poverty, that's all you're going to see, right? You see so many people that just... all they know is working in a factory. All they know is working at McDonald's. All they know is becoming an Amazon driver. They never expand their mind because they never see it. They can't, you know, they can't picture themselves in those locations. They can't picture themselves making $1 million a month. They can't picture themselves living in optimism, living in abundance, living around $1 million neighborhoods because they never see it. You have to be able to see it. You gotta put yourself in those locations to be like, I like it here. I can see it's here. I can see myself here. I know it's possible. If somebody else did it, I know I can do it. And you know, for that to happen, you have to get in those locations. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to move there immediately, right? Which, you know, would be the best thing to do. You know, and I'm not just meaning like moving to $1 million neighborhoods, but like getting around the neighborhoods of money, getting around wealth, getting out of your environment that you're currently in and moving to a better one. I remember I seen this interview with Bandman Kevo, and somebody asked him a question. They were like, hey, if you had to start over from scratch, what would you do? Like, if you had completely nothing, what would you do? And he was just like, if I was homeless, I had nothing, and I had to start over from scratch, he was like, I would go stay in a homeless shelter in a rich city, right? In a wealthy city. He was like, I would find a homeless shelter in a well-to-do place, in a better location, and then work from there. Because you have to get yourself in the locations where there's opportunity, where there's abundance, where there's wealth, if you want to get to that next level in your life. And, you know, this is, so many people do not understand how important location is to success, to wealth, to just opening up your mind to the possibilities of what's possible for you. And, you know, if all you just see is just lack and just people working low-level jobs, you're never going to be able to break out because you're not going to see it's possible. That's just how the human mind is. It's the human condition. You know, and then the entire time you're going to be blaming somebody else. You know, if you got those people online that are still like, oh, like, you know, a minimum wage needs to be upped. Why is the minimum wage this price? It should be more. Life is getting more expensive. And it's just like, why are we just shooting for minimum wage? It's because that's the only thing they see. They just see people doing minimum wage jobs. So that's all they know that's possible. And so they're like, you know, this is the only thing that I can do. Your environment is so important to success. It is like one of the top things that, you know, you need to understand. You need to change your location. You need to change your environment. Get around people of wealth. I still do it today, right? You know, some like, well, not every weekend, but like almost every other Sunday, I'll go take a drive through rich neighborhoods, $1 million houses, and just see the wealth, see the people who are living there. And so it just expands my mind. I know it's possible. I know I can do it. I know I can reach that level. If somebody else did it, I know it's possible for me. But you got to get yourself out of your current environment, and you have to get yourself in those locations, in those environments that, you know, people are winning. And you can see it, and you know it's possible. Until then, you're always going to be stuck at a low level because you're not going to think it's possible because you never see it. And that's what gets people stuck a lot of the time. It's not somebody else keeping you down. It's yourself. You put a glass ceiling on top of your head and you never see it's possible. And the people around you, they're not doing it. You know, they're working low-level jobs and they're just like, oh, you just, you know, this is just what it is, man. We're just surviving out here. Like, no, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. And to thrive, you need to see that it's possible. You need to get yourself in those locations and around those people who are actually thriving. You know, it's just so, like, life can be so easy. Life can be, you know, reaching the level of success that you want is so simple if you understand the steps that it takes to get there. Like, you know, understanding the environment, understanding your location, understanding how to put yourself in these places, understanding what you need to do, you know, to unlock your mind to get to the next step. But most people just stay unlocked. They stay locked, right? They stay with that glass ceiling over their head because either people aren't unlocking them or they just don't know. But once you know the information, once you understand what it takes, it's so much easier to get out and break out and get to that next level, whatever that next level looks like to you. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, because life is so much more beautiful on the other side. And again, you don't even need to be a multi-gajillionaire, right? You just need to be able to see a certain level and be like, I know I can do that. I know I can get there. But until then, there's always just going to be a glass ceiling on you for yourself, from your parents, from your friends, from your coworkers. And you're never going to be able to know that there's another level that you can break out of. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one there, man. But you have to change your environment. You have to get into those locations. Even if you can't do it immediately, go sit yourself in those locations. Go drive to those locations. Go hang out in those locations. See the people. See what they're doing. See that it's possible for you. And then know that you can get there if you really want to. So yeah, man, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe, man. I'm going to leave that one there. Hopefully you guys are having a beautiful day. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.